Coach, congratulations. This right here is really a great honor, and you've had so many accolades over your time as a player, as a head coach, but what does something like this mean to you personally?
To me, this is almost a family award. It really is a family award because my father served 32 years in the United States Army. My mother was there for the whole thing, and as you go through it and recognize the fact that I grew up on Army bases. My first 18 years of my life, I was connected to the military, and I learned so much. And one of the things that I got to see was how it affects and impacts people that live it every day. These are people that do the ultimate and make a sacrifice, a commitment to the country. And all I want to do is be able to say thank you and give back to them.
You really focused on, if it comes time to try to motivate your players, bringing in military players. How do you see your guys kind of react to those different messages?
It's been real interesting to watch just because there are so many different messages that our guys have gotten. We've brought in everything from combat veterans to wounded warriors. We brought in a wounded warrior named Cedric King, First Sergeant Cedric King of the 82nd Airborne, a guy that's double amputee. And he has gotten in front of the players and talked to them about accepting challenges, And it's amazing because when you sit there and you see this guy's a double amputee, you see how positive he is in life, and you sit there and think, really, I'm complaining about practice? I mean, it brings everything into perspective, Having so many different guys come in and speak. I've had, 4-star generals and 3-star admirals come in and speak. I've had lieutenant colonels and first sergeants and privates. I've had, so many different guys talk to our guys. And the one thing that everything comes back to is culture. It's about culture. It's about having the right type of culture in place. And so that's, I think, one of the things that has helped me as I've gone through this process.
I think one of the most powerful things you can possess in life is what you just mentioned, perspective. When you can put things in perspective, you realize wherever you're sitting, whatever you're doing, you're more than likely very blessed to be in that situation. So the motivation has worked, the ties to the military, well-deserved and honored for. We know how important that is for you. And you talk about culture. You just had 5 guys at the Pro Bowl that you're building a culture around. What did you make, having watched the games, the change in format of your players out there?
It was different, because I'm used to obviously being in pads, but I get it and I understand it. But the nice thing more than anything else is the celebration of their accomplishments. And so I was very happy for the guys that were there. They're all solid football players. They're all good men for us. And they're guys that we are, like you said, trying to make sure we can build our team around.
Did you have a favorite moment? I mean, Daron Payne using YouTube for the longest drive. Terry McLaurin with, of course, the amazing hands on that catch. Maybe, the move, the change, the way the flag went. Was there something that resonated with you from them and their performances?
Not necessarily. It was it was kind of interesting to watch the format, though, and try to keep up with everything.
We're here at the Super Bowl. What are you looking forward to? Because this is 2 teams with prolific quarterbacks and high-powered offense. What do you think we're going to see on Sunday?
We're going to see, I think, is going to be a game that's going to be come down to the last drive. I really think so. I think that you're going to see some scoring. But more importantly, what you're going to see is, I think, at the end of it, you'll have a real good sense and feel for who the best player is out there.
And we know this is officially called the off season for most, but we know you have not had any time off. We've seen you back at the facility, being the only car in the parking lot, still working because there's a lot to be done here. Most notably, you've been busy trying to find an offensive coordinator.
Yes.
Where are we in that search?
Well, where we are right now is we're in a little bit of a hold pattern right now. I've talked to a number of coaches, and I've interviewed 6 of them specifically in person. I am waiting for somebody that's in this game this weekend. And once we get past that game, we'll get an opportunity to hopefully visit very quickly, get an opportunity to interview, and then take a step back and make a decision.
Okay, so a decision is coming, a little bit of news right there. But also, Chris Harris moves on to the Titans. Congratulations to him. As we knew, he was one of your outstanding coaches that his career would be moving on. But now you have to fill that position. Where do you look?
Well, I want to look inside first. When we get back in on Monday, get an opportunity to take a look at where we are, who we have, and how things have been. I mean, I've got an opportunity to sit in mostly on the defensive side during game planning and then in their meetings with the players, and I've seen all those guys work together in unison. I mean, what Coach Rogers, Coach Wieselmeyer, and Coach Garcia have done has been very good. Working with Chris, working with Jack, working with Steve Russ and Coach Z and Ryan Kerrigan. So you feel good about that group. It's a good room, and you think that room of guys are all coaches that have done a good job for us because, again, defensively we've done pretty well.
The defense was incredibly stout this season as well, but there's a big question mark if you go to the other side of the ball at quarterback. Of course, Sam Howell, you got to see a little bit of what to expect out of him. Here we are a little bit further into the offseason, and we understand, look, you've got Pat Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, and what they're able to do to run those high-powered offenses. Where are you and what you kind of want out of your quarterback?
Well, what we're looking for is a guy that can manage the game, can make plays when he needs to have it, and can do something that's extraordinary to win it. With Sam, you see some of those traits. You see the fact that the guy has quick twitch, good, quick, fast decision maker, terrific arm, good movement skills to step up and avoid, and that's what you're looking for, is that kind of guy. If you look at these guys that are playing, as you talked about, when you look at Patrick Mahomes and you look at Jalen, you see guys that have the ability to move within the pocket, have the ability to throw off platform, and the ability to extend plays and make big plays when they need to. That's what you want from a quarterback.
So a lot of question marks still to be answered and out there, that it's going to be a long offseason for you most certainly. Do you get a break anytime soon?
Well, you know what? I'm coming off a little bit of break. Last week I had the opportunity to get away. I celebrated my dad's 87th birthday. I did do a little bit of work. I interviewed a coaching candidate for us in person, and then played a little bit of golf. Now here at the Super Bowl, doing some work for the organization, accepting the USAA's Salute to Service Award, which I'm very grateful for. And then I'll head back in a couple days, and then start getting ready for meetings with everybody on Monday.
Okay, no rest for the weary. Congratulations again, Coach, and we will see you at the honors as well for the ceremony.
Cool. Thank you, Julie.